Even bring the enchanters and all that. We don't care about that. There we go. Lucent are going for the red side. And Volibear, first pick instantly. We know that is not allowed to be played. Casapina did an amazing job. Now they're going for the Aphelios, and Jinx is still available. Is Fuyu going for the second round of Jinx? Or is he going to play something more supportive, as we've seen in the previous one?
Both of these could work. I mean, so we could go back to Jinx, we could sort of go back to basics, pick Jinx, pick a very strong engaged support for her, and just feel pretty safe on the laning phase, and then still bring a lot of damage to the table when we exit the laning phase and get to the fights. Or you could decide, to swing it around a little bit. Yeah, something like Aphelios, for example, is not available anymore for both of the teams, but we still have Zeri, something I keep talking about, but I keep not seeing her being picked to the bot lane, unfortunately. She's such a versatile AD carry that could be played around interestingly. Fløng going for a win apparently this time again, showing you a little bit of Pantheon action. But let's see what they will decide to choose for themselves as the first pick for today.
How is this a reality where people just over Pantheon just because? I don't know.
Because they love you, man.
They did it on EU Masters, and it got them the victory as well. They got them the victory. It's the Pantheon buff. Okay, Orianna, the first pick. I was not expecting this. This is a blind pick into the mid lane. She's really safe in the mid lane. If she's going to be played in the mid lane, this could be a bot lane angle, a weird one. But yeah, obviously a very weird one. But yeah, now you can just safely pick the mid lane, or you can go for the jungler and then force the enemy to pick something weird against you.
I would foresee that Orianna being more in the mid lane because, the bot lane action could happen, but it would really need to be twisted around by the whole team. And here, if you just pick Orianna for the mid lane, first of all, I am seeing that Hecarim finally being picked. The Polity is entering the Summoners Reef. But secondly, Orianna as a first pick just calls for a very specific, whole team approach to it, because she provides the utility to you, but I feel like the shockwave is the ultimate thing that can be played around so nicely. So I really want to see what is going to be, especially probably in the jungle. Okay, whatever thought I had was just interrupted. That is going to be the bot lane that we just witnessed in the previous game, but with a little bit spice on top.
I would say this is a lot of AP. Obviously the Pike makes sense, and you're going for some AD in the jungle. You have the Viego as well. You can play with that. You can play for the AD top, even tanky AD top. But if you're playing like this, you can certainly bring a Galio if you want, but no, they're going for the Nautilus because there's a lot of AP. And I was like, maybe bring the Galio, and Hecarim goes in with the unstoppable, with his ultimate, and instantly you can follow up with the Galio. So that would be an interesting one. But no, they want to play the more stable one. They bring the Nautilus, so no AD carries being picked so far. I do believe Fløng will try to take a peek, take a pick on the bans. They're going to take away the Jinx probably. To make sure that she's not going to be played, but she's low mobility versus a Veigar, a Pike, and Orianna. So if you pick the Jinx, I don't know if you're putting yourself in a weird slot. On the other side, Lucent, they want to take a pick. They want to remove away those junglers, and there we go. Lucent is one of them. The high mobilities. I don't think they're going to ban Xin Zhao, but they can probably ban away the Viego.
Definitely. I also have a feeling that it could be potentially against Seraphine on the bot lane for Lucent, just because maybe that Veigar plus Spike combination is forcing Lucent to go again with the same approach to the bot lane, unless they want to try something else. But again, as you said before, it is really hard to put a full-on AD carry on the bot lane against Veigar and Pike combination, because they will just not have the opportunity to farm up safely and to just feel overall safe in the lane, because there is always that constant fear of being hooked and the constant fear of being overranged with the ability power coming from the enemy team. Jinx and Ezreal both are out of the equation now from Fløng Esports, coming to the pick of Lucent. Could still be the pick for the top lane, but that looks like potentially Xayah for Fuyu. Now that is going to be my girl Zeri.
Okay, I was looking into the Xayah, and I actually thought this is not bad. This is not bad. Don't go for the Zeri. They wait for the Zeri. My concern with the Zeri is you have a Veigar, you have a Pike, you have Orianna. The range from Zeri is not that big. It is not that big. And those are three menaces that can just bite you in the back alongside with Viego lock in. So even though you have a lot of movement speed, you're putting yourself in an awkward position, but I do know Fuyu is a guy with fast hands. My boy. You don't pick it, but you over it. I'm so happy. Not even Captain Flowers has this many overs of Skarner. I'm just gonna say this. I'm just gonna put it out there. And he picks the one that almost killed Pantheon. Okay. No, it's fine. It's fine. This is a great composition. Just as we talked about in the beginning of the Champions League, you have two major AP champions, so you need some sort of AD, even if it's a tanky one. That's an Aatrox. Now you can counterpick to the top side.
At least you can try with Aatrox. Oh, we go with Gwen. I haven't seen Gwen for such a long time. She was such a blast in the beginning of the season, and then it felt like everybody suddenly forgot about her. But here is my girl. She's back. And yeah, Aatrox is something that really brings a lot of damage to the table, but also at the same time being extremely sustainable for Simon with that much damage in his pockets. So definitely, Fløng are bringing in some really big guns this time. They're going in very strong. They are really aiming for a very specific approach to the team fights. I'm really curious to see whether they're going to be allowed to have Veigar safely farming on the bot lane this time, because Lucent should have learned a very, very important lesson from the previous game. That really, that Veigar needs constant attention, otherwise he will grow up to be a problem. And the thing here is that with Zeri, you're really looking forward to have a longer game, because she really starts shining later on. In the beginning, she does not really bring that much damage to the table, and she's extremely vulnerable because she really has very little not damage, sorry, but rather health on her hands. So you really want to, wait for later when she's, getting already items, getting already buffed up, getting the damage, and late game Zeri will absolutely demolish everybody. What's the problem here is that on the other team, you have Viego and you have Veigar, who need absolutely the same. They need to wait for a late game to start shining and killing everything they see. So it's a very tricky situation where you want to wait, but you also don't want to wait.
And you also have a certain composition for the team that has high mobility, but also they don't need to be closer to fight. Skirmishes are really good for Lucent, and they can stay afar. If they fight in the middle of a lane, they can spread across, which means Veigar stun is going to be useful, obviously, like thinning down the way you can fight, but it's not going to be as useful with this sort of team. They can jump through walls, so Shockwave is going to be harder to land on 3+ members. So this is a really nice, interesting way and approach that Lucent brought into this one versus Fløng, and Fløng have a tough job ahead of them. But so they did in the previous one. When we look into the beginning of the previous game, the second one, let's be honest, Lucent almost had the game in the bag in 5 minutes in. Chase was so far ahead, and all of us thought this could be a 2-0. But no, Fløng stood their grounds. They were adamant of what they wanted, and they were capable of doing so. So even though I would say in terms of champion select, I gave some sort of leads to Lucent, in the end of the day, it doesn't matter because it's inside of the rift that you can do it.
Yeah, exactly. That's my favorite part of today's game, to be honest. It's like, yeah, you can predict something can work or not work on paper, but then when you get into the Summoner's Rift, everything just starts to work in completely its own ways, and it's really hard to predict how exactly the game is going to look like. But that's the beauty of it. You don't know what to expect, that's why you expect absolutely everything. Yes, I can hear it. Yes.
There you go. This is the sound that we love. This is the Summoner's Rift. If everybody's going to be summoned in, which means we're going to have the bird's eyes of the Rift. Welcome to the third game of the night. It is Fløng versus Lucent. It's 1-1 so far, and it's going to be a massive one. Bloodshed all across. Let's see all the masters to see if something is amiss. I do spot an interesting one with Phase Rush on Hecarim, which means it's not going to be as tanky, but it's just going for the kill and moving on.
Yes, I mean, that is kind of the idea. If you look at Hecarim and if you look at Gwen with the Conqueror specifically, you want to, be jumping from one target to another. You just get on with somebody, kill them, get to the next target, and you go on trying to get everybody one by one. It could work out if you manage to spread Fløng actually this time, because you want to be spread out yourself as a team, because Shockwave and because Veigar, but at the same time you want to split up the enemies as much as possible. So yeah, that's an interesting approach, but I can see how it could work.
1 minute in and not a lot of action. She's just getting the wards across. Both teams have bled so far, so they know they have to be careful, respecting each other, and that's exactly what we want. So Zeri will have a comfortable lane as well. If Veigar on one side is going to have that sort of lead because he's not going to be fighting as much, we could say the same about Fuyu. And we know what Fuyu was capable of bringing in the first game. He was mental with that Jinx. That's all we need to bring out. So if Fuyu finally gets himself on that sort of pick with the Zeri, the hyper carry, we can expect great things from this gentleman, I would say. But go for the other side. There's also a beast.
Exactly. That we're approaching again the mentality of the first game when it comes to the bot lane, is that both AD carries need attention from the enemy jungler, because otherwise they can grow into unstoppable machines. So the question is, are we going to see that long needed attention from the junglers on the bot side of the map in this game or not? Because otherwise that could potentially go wild.
So far they're all respecting each other, and this is the opposite of what we've seen so far in this series. They have been fighting non-stop. Even on the bot side, the level 2 advantage for Lucent is not enough to bring them into any sort of skirmish. On the top side, obviously, if you have the triple Darking Blade, you want to use it. But Eckers now looking for the kill. Ignite being brought up instantly. She didn't bring in the flash. She brought in the Ignite to win the lane. And she's forcing an early recall from Vangst. Probably forcing the TP as well.
Most probably, yeah, because he's running behind in terms of farm, so he needs to get back to the lane as soon as possible, because the wave is approaching his turret, so he needs to be there and to clean it to get some experience in his hands. Very aggressive from everybody. Here is the jungler on the bot side.
Nice flash from Pyke, allowing Shafty to get closer. He's not going to use his own flash, so in the end of the day, it's flash for flash, but Zimba has the X flash.
Yes, he is. Well, he's not running low even anymore, and both junglers are here actually, so we could see the continuation of the action. Syntax is joining the fray as well. There is no vision available in this bush for anybody, so
Event Horizon gets a beautiful Q, getting himself locked in, and Zeri gets the access to the first blood.
Okay, here we go. No continuation. This time we get one kill. We're pretty happy with it. We get back. Shafty's in the bush, but I think he's not recalling. He's standing there and waiting, but I don't think that he's going to be given a chance anywhere soon, because Fuyu and Zimba might just be... Oh, wait. Oh,
Fuyu wants to stack, but it's a Zeri in the beginning of the game, so no damage coming in cleanly, which means Shafty will get the reset with the soul. Meanwhile, Casapina is trying to help the jungler. That's a flash, but it doesn't connect with the Q, so Shafty's running low, and in the end gets the soul, but his body falls. And that's another one for the Zeri.
Okay, again, I'm having the flashbacks from the first game, to be honest. Somebody goes to the side lane trying to, bring somebody down, but in the end, they just end up granting another kill to that very person they wanted to shut down. Zeri finishing this whole action on the bot lane with 2 kills in the end in her hand. She's going to recall now. She's going to come back with some items. Looking at the top lane in the meantime, I was speaking about the difference in farm. Vangst managed to do something about it. He's not going toe-to-toe with a Gwen who was just denying her recall as I was speaking about it, because she's low in mana, she's getting low in health, so she desperately needs to get back to get some health boards, to get some items maybe, and get back to the lane to continue her journey.
Shafty in the mid lane looking for Syntax. Meanwhile, it's a rotation from the bot side. Zimba gaining the Q, wide and missing. Syntax running way too low. The flash is burned, the ignite as well. So they know this is a cooldown on Rotten Bangi, which means they cannot be aggressive on the bot side. Meanwhile, talking about bot side, it is Fuyu and Goof farming away by themselves. There's a teleport available for Veigar, which he needs to take eventually if he wants to start stacking on that tier. But it's also a Sheen for Fuyu, and that's a massive advantage.
He is actually going to use a teleport this very second. There are 3 teleports available for Fløng side, and at the same time, while there are less teleports available for Lucent because there is a cleanse for Zeri instead of a teleport, there are 2 ignites for them on the top laner and on the support. A little bit more possibilities to dance around, especially in the early game skirmishes. A lot of action on the top lane. Oh my goodness, Akers with the ultimate going in. Look at that.
World Ender, but the Ignite is more than enough to stop that sort of bleeding. That's a flash away from the snip. He gets the W. The Darking Blade goes once. He's looking for the second one as Akers skip and slip away from this one. No teleport available. He's just come back into the lane. He's already out of mana. He's already out of HP. So this is going to be a sad and lonely trip back into lane as Vangstead has that sustain by himself.
He's not even recalling. Look at that. He decided to stay at the turret and defend it and try to take down the minions to have some experience. But it's very risky. He has no mana available. He's pretty low. Yeah, there is no ultimate available for Rangstead this time, but it's still a pretty risky situation. Ooh, speaking of risky situations, ooh.
Not even close. Parkour.
Parkour action. Zeri gets away again.
Hackers now underneath the turret. That's a massive Darkened Blade. He's running low. The bleeding is not stopping. He has to do something. He has to go back. Casapinha looking for the level 6 with the Onslaught of Shadows, but still not getting enough experience for that. It's a weird positioning now for Hecarim as he needs to go and farm, but the only thing he has available is the red buff. But he knows that Shafty is on the bot side, so he's not allowed to go there. Fuyu almost getting caught, so Zimba offers his body to the cost. Rottenbang is going to die in the process. It is going to be a 2-for-1 in favor of Lucent yet again. Fuyu looking for the fourth one. The Sheen is available. Sinks teleports in. But doesn't even get the assist.
No.
As Fuyu is getting overfed right now.
Oh yes, that was not a kill for him in the end here at the very last fight, but still 3-0-1, already having the champion bounty on his head. Quite some gold in his pocket, so recalling going to utilize some of that, and that also opens the possibility for the first Drake, because now you have the advantage on the bot side. The mid side looks pretty safe for you as well, but still the Cloud Drake lives for now. Apparently nobody's taking him so far, just securing some vision around it.
It has been bought by Viger just now at 8 minutes in. This is so late. And meanwhile, Akers is getting demolished on this lane. But he's buying enough time. He's waiting for the cooldowns from Vanks to come back to bait him in. There's no Ignite though, so if he decides to pop the World Ender, there's a lot of sustain for Aatrox, and he won't be able to fight this one.
No, with Gwen in general, that's the champion who also wants to wait. She doesn't need to wait as long as some champions, but she just needs to, first to get to her ultimate. Now already feeling more comfortable, but as we saw a little bit early in the top lane, that's obviously not enough for her to take Aatrox down. She needs to wait now till she gets her Riftmaker, and then suddenly she'll get a very nice confidence boost, because that is when she can jump into a fight and she can take the fight and she can get out of it, because she will have the sustain on her hands, and she'll obviously have the burst of damage as well.
For the first time, Vangst is getting such a big lead versus Akers. It's not even in terms of farm. It's just bullying the enemy.
Straight on bullying. I want to disagree with you, but I have to. Oh, that is going to be a tower dive. Speaking of bullying somebody.
Nice flash to get himself into safety, but Goofy still going down in the end. It's a 4-man squad approaching the bot lane, and Rottenbang falls to the double kill from Casapina. This could also mean a lot of platings in favor of Fuyu. No one is required to be there, so he can take those for himself, as they do stop Shafty for taking the red buff. And now Lucent yet again playing as a core unit. They're now waiting for just a 1v1. They're looking for more than that. As the Heartbreaker goes wild versus Zimba, but the heart stays strong, and the red buff belongs to Casapinha.
Oh,
he's not done.
Oh, he's not satisfied with the red buff.
He's not satisfied with this one, but maybe went way too deep. Rottenbang getting low. Here comes the comet from the sky, and Fuyu is not capable of helping his team member. Falling in the end for Veigar. You don't want to give those kills to Veigar. We've seen in the previous game what can happen. 3-7 so far. The lead is not that big in favor of Lucent, because on the top side it's also bleeding in favor of Fløng.
But still, there is a little already, and there is 303 Zeri running, and yes, there are 2 kills available for that little Yodel already. He is starting to feel strong, but still, Zeri has been attended less than Veigar, unfortunately for him. You can see something we were talking about, the attention from the junglers on the bot lane, definitely present. Oh, look at Shafty actually proving my point, but here is coming, to pop the Herald on the bot lane. When did they pick the Herald? Quite some time ago.
This could be the T1. This could definitely be the T1. It takes away 2 platings at least. Vanks looking for the window of Akers. You really want to recall there. I know you have TP available, Ignite as well. But there's the coming Casapina. Vanks getting low, the flash is burned, the Ignite as well. And in the end, it's Akers burning the enemy. What a 2v1, gets the kill. Edel arrives way too late. Unstop of Shadows instantly procs from Casapina. No doubts on his mind that he needed to go for the kill.
Did not get the kill in the end, but you have to admire the audacity of the pony to just go straight on and try to get the kill. But flash is available, you know, some movement here and there, and boom, the B Rihanna gets out of the fight. No continuation is going to happen on the top side because Akers finally was granted a recall with no interruptions, and he has a kill in his hand. And now he's getting closer and closer to the Rootmaker that he desperately needs.
Syntax is clearing this way for the first time unattended. This is so good for him. He was falling behind in terms of farm versus Orianna, so he needs all the help that he can muster. As Syntax wants to stop Rottenberg and Edel from approaching for that lane to try and at least deny some sort of experience. And now looking into the gold, top side is not as different as we thought it could be, mostly because of that kill. Looking into the jungle, there's some sort of lead for Casapina. In the mid lane, yada yada, we didn't talk about that, but it's on the bot lane that we need to focus. And even though this is the Vanguard, and he's going to be farming away those stacks, Zeri is in a position where she's really comfortable right now, almost finishing the Trinity Force, or maybe
she already has it, yeah.
Oh, that is not going to be a good one.
Nah, not at all. But she's definitely most comfortable currently on the map because she has the most gold in her hands. She, I think, no, she wasn't the first one to finish the maybe, but look at more action on for you.
Done doesn't connect. That's a 3-man squad coming in. Everybody looking for the Q, and they get the kill. Shockwave is going to put this one 1-for-1 as Rottenbangi looking for the Bone Screwer. Trying to get some sort of kill, but Gwen is there to support them if they need. Here comes the raid boss. Vangst with the World Ender gets the first knock up. Looking for the second one on Syntax. Whoa! That's a massive bicep strength if you want to do that.
Absolutely not. It gets away. Everybody's getting away. Not the turret on the mid lane. Apparently, Fløng are really looking for a way to take it down, taking the turret place because we're still half a minute left to do so. But the turret still stands, not the one on the top lane. Apparently, is it going to be the first one? Yeah, it is going to be the first turret in the game, finally falling down for Fløng.
Before 14 minutes, nonetheless. So more goal for this Viego. This is another one that can carry. They have a lot of members that can carry this game, and this is something that Lucent have to be aware. Akers died, by the way. I don't really recall where, but he died nonetheless.
Wait, what?
Oh, there you go. We have a replay of this. Oh, recalling on top of a ward without knowing it. And here comes the offensive horizon. No, it's a Bone Skewer that takes him in, and death from below gives gold for both of them.
That's an immediate delete from the game. Yeah, Akers definitely has some issue with recalling in this game, being denied constantly the recalls on the top lane, and now finally thinking that he can recall in peace, at least at the mid lane. But nope, sorry man, that's where you were wrong. But at least he's already running the Rootmaker, so that's something positive, you know, to think about.
A lot of mythics being finished, but so far Syntax has not been lucky to finish his own. Looking for the Everfrost window, but so far it's not being available for him. Akers with no turret now, has to be a little bit careful versus Vangst, who already has himself the Gourd Drinker. Nothing else, just a straight up Gourd Drinker, as they're looking for Rottenbangi, but puts himself in the Ghost Water Dive. As the first turret in the mid lane is going to be pressured. Fuyu with the Trinity Force is going to make this an easy, and even though Event Horizon is going to stun him, he doesn't care. He takes the turret for himself and now extends the vision in favor of Lucent. Edel is going to do the same on the bot side. And so far, not a lot of dragons being piled upon, because this is going to be the second one at 17 minutes. So I think we're in for the long game, Solari.
It definitely looks so, but I'm rather excited about it, and I think the teams should be excited about it as well. That's definitely what they want for themselves, for their team composition, something I touched upon. Maybe I don't want it for the enemy team that much, but it still could work for you pretty nicely. Oh, Shafty, are you okay there, man?
Shafty gets a lot of CC, but on the back, Fuyu gets instantly deleted. And Rottenbank still has access to his own ultimate. Goof as well. So Primordial Burst could be the decisive factor in this fight if they decide to take it upon. Casapinha going to get hooked. Event Horizon not connecting. There's a little fruit on the floor if they want, because this is... No, this is not the ocean map yet, but there's a lot of fruits in the middle of the river if he wants to take it in and sustain himself. But he wants to take the safest approach, and I do believe we have a replay of the top lane.
I would love to see that, and yep, here we go in Akers versus Vangsted. Akers has the level 11, so he has a some advantage versus Vangsted, and we have more action on the mid lane. The meantime, Syntax going down. What?
We don't even need to look at this one. It's a 3-man squad going in versus one. The Bone Skewer alongside with the Event Horizon from Veigar. This is a nice combo that is working wonders for Fløng.
Can you put anything against this combo effectively just to try to avoid it?
You can ban it.
Oh, yes. We have the replay on the top side with the needlework being proc from Akers and a snip, and boom, here comes Vangsted. He is done for good.
You have ways to approach this. If you are AP, you can go for the Banshees and try to not get procced. It's not easy for Fløng to proc from afar. You don't have an Ezreal, or even the Ryze or the Zeri. Those are the easy ways to proc. If you look into the other side, it has to be Veigar. And the Balfour Strike is not the longest range ability. So if you want to build some sort of Banshees, that could be useful to not get the Skewer. Aside from that, I mean, you gotta respect the Pyke. You gotta get deep vision to understand where he's using his Phantom and his Ghost Water dive.
Yeah, a lot of words and some good footwork could be enough for you potentially. Oh, we have a Havoc.
There you go. That's not the footwork you were talking about.
Not exactly. The Herald do, and we have... Oh, we have... No, it's just escaping the fight.
They're burning everything before the dragon. That's a flash. That's the unstoppable onslaught. The Onslaught of Shadows, that's a lot of onslaughts in this game. That's the Onslaught of Shadows, so you don't have a way to properly fight this ocean. You have to give it away.
Yes, I'm just a little bit confused with what happened on the mid lane, to be honest. I expected the Herald to happen there, but then the fight, to move towards the Dragon Pit, but no, everything ended there. And
he stole it! Rottenbank! Oh, this guy is a monster on Pyke. He'll be saying who?
What? Okay, so many steals of the major objectives in the jungle today. What is happening?
You put in the Event Horizon and then you put in Pyke on the remaining aspect of that specific lane. This is how they're doing it, and Fløng are just with a winning ace in their sleeve. Lucent is not capable of finding that one. What they need to do is actually getting Akers the side push. The 1v1. In the beginning, it was not working for him. Everfrost, the entire burst collapsed on Casapinha, and he's looking for magic resist. He went straight up for the Negatron cloak to get himself some sort of tankiness. He needs to be as tanky as he can get. Syntax the same, or else that combo is just going to pop up both of them instantly.
Yeah, there is just going to be too much burst damage hopping on them, and there is not going to be Mountain Salt this time, so you could try to take it, and try to protect yourself at least from some of that. So you need to balance it out by building yourself up some sustain. That is a shockwave on Syntax.
I don't think at all can kill this, not without Ignite. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, Fuyu again, the member who had the sort of lead, is just getting popped like a balloon on the bot side. They do the same versus Aatrox. This is a 1-for-1, but in the end, it's Veigar stacking up all that AP. Can we take a peek at the AP that Goof has? Can we see how much that Veigar is stacking up? 544 in 20 minutes. It's not the same as before, but it's still a lot.
Exactly. Already with a Rabadon available for him, it's going to be Zhonya's pretty soon, so that's going to be some sustain on the hands as well. So that is going to be again one crazy order to do with Fuyu. We're going to have Fuyu dead here in the mid lane apparently. Again, the combination, the absolutely crazy combination, and with some addition of Viego, and boom, here down it goes. Akers is trying to balance it out. Akers and Casapinha, to be honest, both of them trying to stack them up with the kills, because Fuyu is being denied that he's constantly being caught somewhere and killed. Apparently, he is the first priority currently for Fløng. But Akers could potentially try to become the hyper carry for the team. There is a possibility for Gwen to try to carry the team. And she has, like, what Gwen would like to have in a good team fight is the engage coming from somebody else. And she has Nautilus for that, trying to demonstrate us exactly what I was talking about, but missing the hook a little.
Now you have to think, okay, either we invest in wards, either we invest in vision and try to stop this sort of combo coming in from Pyke alongside with Veigar, or you need to be the one pulling the trigger. You need to be the one initiating these fights. They have to be courageous about that, because even though it's 8-12, there's some sort of lead for Lucent. I do believe Fløng are still in control of this game. Teleport being bought on the bot side. A Syntax is going to get caught. Shockwave is available, but still not used. And one part of the combo is dead right now. Shefty is still alive. Somehow, as the W from Fuyo doesn't connect, he's trying to fish in the middle of the river, but Shefty is way too fast. They're going for Goof. That is a small Veigar. That's Goof popping up the stopwatch, allowing Vex to come in, but way too late as Arnold is going to take Casapina, but Vex is still fighting this off. That's a lot of sustain. Coming in with a beautiful Shafty. That is the Viego we were talking about. And the Reset City double kill. Hard stops. As Shafty is a monster.
Oh my goodness, that Viego, when everything looked like it was completely decided, he jumps in and he says, no, I'm going to take in the fights, getting the reset, getting another reset. That is the beauty of Viego, because we're already 22 minutes in the game. That is the time for Viego to start absolutely shining. Same for Gwen, to be honest. In that fight, it was a lot of Gwen action jumping around with a lot of snip, snip, snip. But then Viego finishing everything on such a beautiful note. We're going to see the replay of the fight, because there is a lot to see here, to be honest, with a lot of people starting on the bot side, yet again starting up everything by killing part of the crazy duo, taking down the Pyke. So now, yeah, Vigor is still powerful, he still has a lot of damage, but he does not have this setting available for him anymore. And then here, he's still alive, he goes golden, he needs to survive, but still look at how much damage he manages to bring on that Gwen, because he's standing in her field. In the meantime here, Casapina going down, giving the reset to Shakti.
Oh, there's another fight somehow. They're looking for the dragon, trying to get something. And meanwhile, Zettel flashing away. Shockwave buys him some seconds, but how many seconds can you get? The slow of dissonance is more than enough. Meanwhile, they took down Pyke to start this one. And this could be the second Drake in favor of Lucent. It's going to be an X-Tech. He's going to try and steal it away. The Veigar is not capable of gaining his W. The comment coming in from the sky. So they get access to at least that little objective. It's not much, but it's something for Lucent. They need to hold on into any sort of lead they can find, because even though there's 11-15 on the board, look at the gold lead. It's still Fløng ahead in this game.
And quite nicely ahead, especially considering the difference in the kills. But you really can see Lucent trying their absolute best on this map to do something about the situation they found themselves in. Speaking about taking the objectives on the map, and speaking about, for the second time in a row, taking down Pyke in the very beginning of the fight, they very clearly understand where exactly the main... What was I about to say? There is a word that I'm forgetting. The main danger, let's put it this way, coming for them, and they need to eliminate it as early as possible in order for them not to find themselves losing the fight completely. So they have their priorities set when it comes to the fighting. Question is, are they going to be able to stick to that? Because in order to take down Pyke in the beginning of the fight, you still need to stick to the vision. That's not something you choose, either the vision or taking down the Pyke. You still need both to succeed.
I gotta say, Rottenbangi on this series has been doing a tremendous job as a support, getting vision, getting all those hooks, and I do believe if they try to ban away the Pyke, he could go for something that can bring a hook as well.
Yes.
We haven't seen Blitz a lot in this meta, but the way he's playing today, I wouldn't mind see Rottenbangi with the Blitz crank.
Ooh, that could be very spicy. Honestly, yeah, there is still some other picks you could bring against thinking Thresh, Nautilus, Leona, but Blitzcrank could be a different approach to everything and could spice the things up. Vangstead being chased down so dramatically right now, but he's just
Clash, he's fine.
away. Yeah, that just walks away.
He's going to be forced to use
look
it.
at him. I'm fine.
Oh, he's trying to wait enough time. He did it. They didn't got the flash. That is a massive victory for Vangst.
Yes, And he confirmed it with a little thumbs up in the Dragon Pit. Do we have... Well, we have the Baron available already. Yeah, we're 25 minutes in the game, 26 even. We have the Baron available, so now could be the time to shift the attention a little bit from the bot side to the top side of the map, because that's another major objective on the map, but they one could move the pace of the things dramatically, because with that one, the team who manages to secure it for themselves could start pushing forward with a drastic speed. Because currently everybody's a little bit, if you know, in the breathing room, just looking at everybody, deciding what their next move should be on the map. But with the Baron at stakes, it could be a very different pace.
Gwen is online now with 2 items and looking for the Zhonya's, and this is exactly what she wants. She's going straight up for the kill. She's just trying to stack the Conqueror as soon as she's capable of doing so. It's going to be an easier time for Akers, but with no vision on the map, no awareness of where the Rotten Bangy is. That's the thing. He's on his mind. He's on the mind of the enemies. They're not thinking, okay, I can probably win the 1v1, but where is Spike?
Yeah, there is never a certain one-on-one if there is Spike and you don't know where he is.
Yeah. That's why he's teasing. Vanks should be the one trying to get the hold of Akers, trying to stop him, but he's the one with the lead. And I've seen this play before. The problem is it's going to be flash for flash, finally getting the needlework to slow down, but there's no follow-up. So they burned the flash, but what can they do with this? They're trying to force it with the Baron, but there's some vision coming in from Lucent, so they have to stop this one. Event Horizon slowing down this hacker room as Rotten Bangy is going to be forced to use his shockwave on 2 members. Realm Warp coming in, taking everybody. Where are they? They're gone.
Here. No? What?
They're on the side. They want the Baron. The magic.
Whoa, that was a little bit too many teleports for me. I got lost. But I love it. A lot of action all of a sudden, and the Baron still leaves nobody staking him so far, just maybe securing a little bit more vision around it and preparing for the next action. When I'm looking at the teleports on the side of Lucent, they're not available currently. On the side of Fløng, everything is available, so they could start the Baron a little bit better. With a little bit better cards in their hands in terms of they can join the fight sooner. But the thing is, there is also Dragon coming up. 20 seconds could be a potential soul point for Lucent, and a little bit of additional ability haste. Never hurt nobody.
28 minutes in and we're still going strong. We see another Dragon popping off in 7 seconds, and it's still not even the soul point. This is how careful everybody is being in this game. They're afraid whoever takes this one will be in match point to move on in playoffs. You've worked the entire season for this. You fought against everybody, and this is the time you have to shine. Good start by Lucent. Fløng answering with the second game. And now it's going to be the Dragon, and somehow Shefty put himself in a weird position. The Outbreaker is not going to appear, and it's a slot of shadows going through the backline as Akers just snipping away. Everybody's collapsing, and look at Fuyu, finally online. The cleanse is available, but he doesn't want to use it because he knows everybody's retreating on the other side. So Fløng are not capable of fighting versus his Baron.
Shafty found himself there because he was going for a steal. He was trying to steal the Dragon. It did not work, and he found himself completely surrounded. He died, and then 2 more people died, and now that is the free Baron for Lucent. They have so much in their hands right now. Look at the champion bounties on the hands of this team. There are only 2 left currently, but still they're pretty juicy ones. And here comes the Baron, which means now the game could start moving a little bit faster, because now there is a possibility to start the siege, and you can actually split pretty safely throughout the lanes currently. We're going to see the replay, going to prove if Shafty went there. Yeah, through here, you see, he went and he tried to go for the steal, but it was not enough.
Oh, he tried to steal with the Q. He didn't even went for his ultimate, not even fully committing. Flash available. He instantly uses it, but that's way too late. And I noticed something. This was the first time that Rotten Bangy didn't have the entire map covered on the bot side for the objective, and a single time that he was not capable of getting those wards, and his team instantly falls. So this is how important his job has been throughout this series, and He wasn't able to get the time to do it on this fight. I'm not saying he's at fault. I'm just saying that because they didn't have that vision, they didn't know what was happening, and they had to commit to a serious play where they lost one member, and well, that's a deck of cards just falling in the end.
Exactly, and now these are some turrets falling down the bot side and the main side. Again, Lucent can split pretty safely throughout the two lanes. They don't need to be scared of Fløng currently because they just feel so much stronger. We go 18-11 in advance of Lucent, and that is going to be another fight potential on the mid lane because despite what I said, the mid turret still stands actually, so there is still a possibility to take it down with a Baron buff still available for everybody on Lucent's side. They just need to wait for minions, but at this time minions are actually pretty far away from them.
It's 30 seconds. Every 30 seconds we see a wave popping in base, and Syntax is leading, like being the leader for one of those waves on the bot side. Pushes him into the event horizon. The combo is important, but it's just not working as Goof is going to get focused by the Akram. And even though he's so tanky, he still does a lot of damage. And Vanks, the raid boss, is dead before he even knows, allowing Fuyu to just roam across. He's unstoppable at this point. The lightning crash is still in effect. How can you stop this Zeri? Well, you cannot. If everybody dies in an instant.
Exactly. I mean, 32 minutes in the game. By that time, Zeri, especially if you allow her to run 6-3-7 by this time, there is literally nothing you can do to stop her because she will be jumping around you and she will be taking the kills and she will not care about absolutely anything that you try to put against her. Still not finishing the game, still running very strong, 11-19, not a big difference versus last time we checked. But still, here we go. Fløng still need to try to defend their base because they still have the base turrets available for them, so no inhibitors are open. That's a little bit of relief. But it means that the next Baron will actually be the opening for Lucent to open those inhibitors to potentially finish the game even if they manage to take down Fløng. So really need to be careful about the base and about the next objectives coming in because the Baron, because we're sitting on the soul point, a lot is happening right now, so the stakes are very high for every movement you take on the map.
And now you want to fish, but all fishes are together and not aware of the bait you're using, so Rotten Bangi is not capable of gaining any sort of fish in these fights. They're working as a core unit, and now Lucent are a little bit harder to pick. As you see them roaming across the map, extending the vision, they know this is a soul. An X-Tech soul at that, as Syntax flashes in, gets the lockdown, and that's Goof falling off. He wasn't even able to flash the permanent CC, brought down the Vanguard. Look at Kazapin, he doesn't get, that's a 1v3, but he knows everybody is on their tail. So he's capable of pushing everybody away. 20 seconds until the soul, Solari.
Yes, and it's just one thing that Lucent care about because they don't care about absolutely anything else that's happening. Whatever you put against us, say Lucent, we will just cut through it and then we will get you and we'll kill you. The half of the duo is down now. Veigar, this time not Pyke, but still the duo combo is not available, which means Lucent can go in and take the dragon almost for free. Yeah, absolutely for free. Nobody's going to try to go for the steal this time and to stop them, and that is the hack soul available. That is one juicy for this game and for this team composition. Look at Akers, look at Fuyu specifically. They must be very happy about this one.
Oh, they are. You get the attack speeds, and you also get that proc. It's such an easy proc with burst fire from Zeri to proc that dragon. Oh, I don't want to see this in team fights because the slow is going to be tremendous, and Fløng's composition works around being mobile, trying to put himself in a position where they can pick someone up. If you get slow, that mobility is crossed off the map, and you're done. You're completely done. Whenever Zeri gets the slow, whenever Zimba gets some sort of engage as well, that's all you need to stop them. And now you can do it by an auto attack.
That is a little bit too much to people on the table, to be honest. Oh, again, not catching anybody. We're gonna make a trying to fish for somebody, but the fish are just
they're not alone anymore.
Maintaining their distance. Yeah, exactly. So what do we have? We have the Baron coming up. The next Baron, the second one we're talking about. Lucent really need this one to try and go, maybe even finish the game, which means Fløng. Did you just take the blue buff? I think he did.
I mean, it's on his side, so he didn't take it. It was like, it's mine, so... Can we stop that? 913 AP for Veigar. He's taking a lot of time to get that 1,000 mark, but he's tanky, he's dealing damage. He just can't be the one getting caught to begin with.
Yeah, because last time that's exactly what happened, and we saw what it ended up with. The soul, a little spoiler. But the Baron is up, not being attended just yet, just clearing the vision, placing the vision, clearing it again. Little game of vision between the two teams. Gwen with teleport available on the other side of the map, but slowly making her way towards the Baron. Lucent can actually start it without provoking the fight from Fløng. But Fløng need to answer it immediately. They need to be there. They need to start moving towards the Baron beef because that is the absolute moment that they cannot let Lucent take the objective in their hands.
The slow is menacing for Rotten Bangi, for Shafty as well. We were seeing Viego running in the map, and as soon as he got hit by that slow, you cannot move at all. It's not even a slow anymore. When you get the X-Tech Dragon alongside with the slow, it's not a slow, it's a root. I know Riot is calling it a slow, but it's not. Okay, they're going to start it up. It's going to be Vanks trying to run away with his old Ender. But now they burn the massive cooldown. Can they fight this one? He takes a lift, goes across the rift, back into his original position, but without that ultimate. That is the cooldown that they burned, and they want to push for the mid lane. I know you guys want to go for the Baron, but we're going to try and make something happening. Bone Skewer gets a stun. It's Akarim. Oh, there you go! Primordial. Now you have no jungler. One missed position. Fuyu comes in. Lightning Crash. It's going to use the burst fire. And he vaporizes. He's slowing them down. In the middle of the team fight, that's another one. It's going to be Banks to try and slow them down. But Aatrox is not enough to stop the bleeding. And Rotten Bangi now fishing again. Bone Skewer gets another one. The slow, the root, the follow-up damage. Syntax goes golden. Is it enough? The dissonant is dead. Another golden, allowing enough time for Goop to come in. But Fuyu is unstoppable. He's full HP. Look at Zreddy running across the map. Everybody's using stopwatch. What is happening?
Everybody has a stopwatch. Everybody's using a stopwatch apparently, but that's the thing you need to bring into these fights, because otherwise there is just already too much boost damage coming from almost everybody. And look at that beautiful Zeri in all her gracious beauty and all her gracious 8 kills on her hands. That is the late game Zeri. She doesn't need anybody anymore. She just deals all the damage, but she has Acres and she's pretty, thankful for the help, because Gwen and Zeri, the two ladies in the late game, are absolutely devastating. Now listen, have the advantage. They can go for the Baron just like that. There is the jungler available for the enemy team. There is everybody available for the enemy team, but they could actually sustain a fight even if it happens in the Baron peak, as long as they manage to do something with the Gulf.
Fights can be long, I would call. We have 4 stasis effect in this entire map. So we have 2 Zonias on Lucent's side, we have Zonias on Veigar's side, alongside with the stopwatch for Orianna. So if we take 5 minutes fights, don't worry guys, it's supposed to be like that, because everybody goes golden.
Yes, everybody goes golden. Oh, managing to catch the next one. Not continuing it.
The rainbow one is back, but I don't think he wants that pot of gold.
Yeah, it does not want to turn around and see what's up on the other side of the rainbow. Yeah, they started it.
Baron is doing a speed run. Any percentage? He's already at 3,000, 1,000. Will he be able to steal? No, not enough. Now, can you turn this against Fløng? Can you slow them down with Defense Horizon? Shafty finally getting himself in the mist. He needs to run away. In 20 seconds, it's the Elder. And Fløng got aware of this. You're not allowed to give away the Elder. You're not allowed. You have to fight for this one. If you give Lucent the Elder, this is going to be bad news for you.
That is going to be the end of the game. They have everything. The Baron buff, the Soul, the Elder, and that's it. They take it down in a team fight. They take down your Nexus, the next thing.
Ninjax is fancying a flash engage. I know he is.
He's
looking for that. Look at him. He's getting the Rune Prison. Thanks to getting slow. Pops up his ultimate. But meanwhile, that's a primordial burst. 2 members go down. 1 on each side. But it's the shockwave that was not pulled. As Akers goes golden. It's the first one. Syntax on the back line. And look at Fuyu running across. She's way too fast. She's sonic the ants, Fuyu. And she gets another one. It's a double kill. Looking for the triple. She's using all the burst fire she has. Electricity is pulled from the plug. As Syntax is left to shambles. It's a triple kill for Shafty, looking for the Quadra. He's capable of doing eventually, but surely it's an ace for Fløng.
Oh my goodness! What did we just see? What did we just say before that everything in the hands of Lucent? Guess what? Nothing is in their hands anymore. That is the Elder that is being taken out by Fløng. All of a sudden, boom, and the game takes a completely different turn in a completely different direction. That is going to be the Elder for Fløng. That is going to help them massively in the team fights. That is going to be the objective bounty for them. That is going to be their reverse game for them. 41 minutes into the game, and we're not finishing here just yet. It's not just a long fight, my friend. It's a long game. One big long fight. Let's see how exactly it happened, because it started with the hacker, with a lot of things, to be honest, happening on all sides at the same time. A lot of kills, but I want to see that exact moment where everything started to turn, because there is Fu running around, taking the kills, being very happy about it, but then boom, that is the Gwen available for Shafty, and all of a sudden that Gwen, with all the damage in her hands, is starting to take down everybody. Shafty being very happy about that Gwen he got himself, and then boom, he transforms into Fu, another reset for him, and he goes in for the final kill. But spoiler alert, he does not get it.
No matter how much magic resist you have as a hacker, when Veigar achieved 1000 AP. I think he's sitting at more than 1000 AP at this point. Yeah, there we go. Oh, that's a perfect AP. The 1-1-1-1-1. Ah, that's a lot. Can you over the ultimate, the primordial burst? Can you show me those 2000? Yeah, there you go. 2300. Oh, the dark meteor is 1300 damage? Yeah, there you go. There you go. That's a lot of damage.
That damage should be illegal.
It is not. I mean, Yasuo and Yone are always getting buffed, fine. So yeah, Veigar is allowed to.
Okay, fine. Veigar is allowed to be and to deal all this damage, but in this game, I'm pretty sure Lucent think that it should not be allowed, because look at that.
Oh yeah.
Taking down the mid lane inhibitor, and now they want to take the bot lane inhibitor, and
look at him attacking the turret though. Oh, boom. That's a Veigar. 2 attacks on the turret, it's already gone. If that was a Lich Bane, that would be a one-shot turret. The turret is falling fast. Syntax knows that he cannot approach. Shockwave is available. Pulls the trigger on only one. Goes golden. They're trying to buy enough time. Primordial Burst is still off cooldown. And instantly Akarim bites the bullet. Fuyu is still alive. He knows he has to carry this one. Vex was capable of surviving. The teleport is available. He wants to go back, sustain himself, and to just finish the game. They have all the members required to finish this one. Fuyu's looking for the perfect timing to pop the lightning crash and go mental on the team fight. There's no shockwave available. Only one turret alive. He goes in. Fuyu is the man that needs to carry this one. Shafty looking, but the Nexus explodes as Goofy takes 2 shots at it.
The Nexus is not supposed to go down that quickly, yet it did. What a game it was, my friend. I mean, look at your face. Look at all this happiness. I'm very happy. Veigar. Dude, yes. The Veigar one-shotting everything. The turret, I don't care. The inhibitor, your Nexus, I'm sorry, but I don't care. I'm Veigar. I have more than enough AP to do it.
There's not much to say about this when Veigar is capable of getting 1000 AP. We've talked about this. It's the Veigar late game angle. You're just buying enough time. You're just buying enough vision as well. And there was a point where Lucent were like, okay, we got the game back. We got the game back. We got the soul. This is all we need. We got the Baron. GG, put it in a bag and go next. Veigar presses R, and that's enough to tip the scales. And then you're worried about the Veigar. You don't pay attention to the Darkened Blade of Aatrox. You don't pay attention to the Heartbreaker from Viego. All those members were capable of carrying, and Fløng got together at the end, and that's more than enough.
Speaking about the team compositions that just need to wait. Apparently, Lucent needed to wait for late game to become very strong, and they were very strong, and they were carrying absolutely everything. Everything on the map was in their hands. But then we approach not just the late game, but late game. And boom, all of a sudden we have Veigar fully stacked with all the EP that he needs. We have Viego, who gets such juicy resets because, again, there is such a strong Gwen in the enemy team. If you manage to kill her and get her to yourself, you just kill everybody, you see, with their own tools, with your enemy's own tools. That is just incredible.
Now, finally, Fløng for the first time puts himself in a position where they can just wrap these cities in a match. It is match point in favor of Fløng. So far, throughout the entire split, they were not capable of defeating Lucent, and all of a sudden, they got 2 victories, 1 more, and they will tie up in terms of victories, but they will move on in the bracket. So without further ado, we'll toss it to a break, and we will be right back.